Yo, what's going on? It's Terrell, Hall of Fame, D-Line, tbkc, and all that sweet, beautiful, wonderful shit. Hey, man, let me just say it is what it is, Things is getting back on track, thank God for that, man. I'm back on the road. Anybody who needs shipping, I'll be, I'm bending corners. I'm gonna set it more so now that I'm out every two, just twice a month. I can't do all these scattered shipments as much, but man, much love to the OGs who've been hitting me up, and to the new faces that's been hitting me up, promoting and everything else. It's all good. This video though, I get the same question, and I get the same question about the premise of the American bully, and like, why doesn't the extreme work? And y'all seen me do videos on this before, and I've compared them to bodybuilders. I've compared them to the Belgian blue cows and different things like that. This is what I'm telling you guys, and I'm telling you guys this like 150%, bro. Nothing too big can work. You know what I mean? It's just that simple. When we start talking about anatomy, when we start talking about the breakdowns, you can go into sports science or whatever the case may be. This year, basketball phenomenon, Victor Wembanyama, however you pronounce Wemby's name. You know what I'm saying? 7'4" kid, very, very athletic, very explosive. But they have him on a minutes restriction because of him being a giant. The sports science says that he is at very, very high risk of injury. When you start talking about sports science with running backs, one of the things is that you have a targeted size with running backs. Even with a running back in the NFL or wherever it is, you don't want that running back too muscular. When they're too muscular, there's a very, very, very high chance of injury. The more muscle you start putting it in motion, there's a very, very high chance of injury. Now, when we go to basic health, I don't care if you're a power lifter and you lift all the time and we think lifting weights makes us healthy. If you're a bodybuilder, we've seen the rash of bodybuilders who have died, unfortunately, over the last years. And I just seen another lady who died during bodybuilding. And I know the first thing you're going to say is, oh, it's the steroids, it's the steroids. Let me help you out with this steroid thing. Yes and no. When it comes to steroids with bodybuilders, I'll tell you guys this. This is the thing. The steroids are not the reason, but they're, you know what I'm saying? But they're at the root of the reason. Steroids help you gain abnormal size. And our bodies are made in a way that, we're supposed to have normal size. So your heart is built to have normal size, And y'all seen me explain this before. Your heart does not grow with your body, As you put on massive amounts of weight, it is stressful on your heart, it's stressful on your cardiovascular system. The joints do not grow with this size. As we play with the genetics of the dogs and the animals, and we want them to get bigger, some things that we have seen in the Belgian cows is a twisting of the bone when you do ecropsies. We've seen abnormalities, which we're starting to see in the dogs, to where the forearm is shortened, because the reason that they shorten the forearm, now I don't say they, but the anatomy shortens the forearm, is because it takes the overall torque off of the elbows, which we haven't seen any extra cartilage being, genetically being formed in the elbows to protect the elbows. It also naturally slows the dog's movement down. It makes the dog in the front end more of a peg leg type of dog, which therefore can't get the same type of torque, you know what I mean? So with all that being said, you know what I mean? We do what we do, and we try our best to make sure that we can get whatever we can get done with these dogs. But through and through, when we look at the way that these dogs are built, when we look at the anatomy of the dogs, when we look at everything that the dogs have going on, the one thing we're starting to try to find out, that we are finding out with these dogs, is a very, very simple thing. A very, 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 very simple thing is that we have to stop playing God with these dogs and understand what is healthy. With our bodies, we try to be healthy. Myself, I was just talking to Marco. We are all trying to keep weight down as we get older. You know, even younger people are trying to keep weight down. Nothing about health says gaining weight, unless you are anorexic, is a good thing. The thing of it is, with these dogs, what we're doing is we're creating an oversized dog. And we don't want the dog to be an English bulldog, which generally when you have an English bulldog, you follow a couple rules, and that is not too hot, not too cold, and it's a dog that's pretty much meant to lay around. We don't want to bow down and make the American bully that, but yet and still we're trying to put all of this massive size on there. Well, when we do all of this massive size on the dogs, the things that we're finding out is the torn CCLs, horrible horrible stress on the hearts, a multitude of issues, you know what I mean? As we even see the skeletal frame break down, where you can see young puppies, and to me, anything under 18 months is a puppy. So y'all bear with me, but you'll see a dog that even at a year old, you'll see the dog move. You'll see the dog, and you're like, damn, that's a pretty well put together dog. He looks pretty good. And then you'll see him at 2 years old, and you start to notice that he's swayed back. You start to notice that he's cow-hawked a little bit. His skeletal frame is actually changing, and it's adjusting to the abnormal amount of weight that the dog has. It's an unhealthy weight. We've reached a point where a smart breeder would start to understand that, look, this is what's going on with the dogs. You know what I'm saying? This is the only way that we can make things work with the dogs. We have to find a way to analyze these dogs and say we've gone too far. Well, the easy analyzation is, over the years we've seen some very, very gross examples of going too far. And we're not going to go into all of the mixing and other things they've done. We're just going to talk about the specific animal. All of these deformities, let's say the majority of these deformities, and the health issues, and the reason that we see dogs dropping dead left and right, has a direct effect from the amount of mass and weight that these dogs are carrying. They just cannot carry that much mass. They can't. If you look through your bully guide of life, let's call it that, and you look at the massive dogs, right? Most of them don't live long. And those who do generally are very, very well bred and just happen to be big. And they come from dogs that have no genetic issues with breathing, cardiovascular, and other issues of that sort. So they are like the contrast, because they're so well bred that they have incredible cardiovascular system and overall health. So it's allowing them to counter the fact that they might be somewhat too big for that. Mandela is one of those things. But the one thing I will say is this, is that if we do not change what's going on in these breeds, if we do not change what we're seeing with the dogs, it's going to continue to be a very, very bad situation. And no matter what we do with these dogs, and no matter what we do with our breed, it's not going to get better. You're going to see the dogs' lives get shorter. You're going to see the deformities. You're going to see the abnormalities as the genetic profiles try to change to match the issues that are going on with the dogs. You know what I mean? We're going to see more and more changes. We're going to see more and more as nature tries to fight what we're doing to the dogs. And this is one of the reasons why other breeds have been stable for so many years and follow a certain set of rules for so many years, because once you find the formula to make that animal, you don't try to go extreme. This is one of the reasons why we often talk about the breed was set early. It was set early, and we wasn't making anything from a future thing. We were making it from a positive aspect. Now things have changed, and it has made it very, very, very hard to breed. But I tell y'all this, man, it is great. This is a long conversation that we need to have. I know I can't fit it all in there. That's why my conversation is sort of scattered. But we need to start talking about what is an acceptable weight for these dogs? What is an acceptable body style? We can use examples. We can talk about this and that and the other. But at the end of the day, I think the idea of having a very, very extreme, overly done heavy dog, the experiment is over. We've been shown that this is failing, and it's failing big, But God bless y'all. We will be live. Maybe we'll go live tomorrow morning. You know what I mean? But until next time, y'all, God bless y'all. Much love. Peace.